Man, I swear I've been grinding. Niggas hating on me, but I don't mind it. Niggas out here looking for smoke, then come and find it. For wasting my time with you niggas, but game behind it like, yeah, I keep a glizzy on me. Being a rapper is more dangerous than prison, homie. Bitches used to dump me back then, but now they on me. I've been working on my craft and building a fucking army. Free my nigga 2-Cup, just know he coming home. RIP 18K, I still hit up your phone. Focused on my health, that's that shit that keep us whole. Music my escape from all the bullshit I got back home. From the ground up, best believe that I prevail. Had to cut them off, they just wanna see me fail. They don't hit me up, but they calling me for the bail. You can't stop the rain, but fuck it, I made it out the hell. Watch me make it through the storm. I ain't make it yet, but all this growth, I feel reborn. Keep on striving, young nigga, I'm working towards a tour. Big blunts full of runs and picking bitches off the floor, Pray for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst. Fuck all that complaining, I just get up and work. Bum niggas worry about hoes, food and them perks. Depression at a high, man, I swear this shit getting worse. Yeah, I had to get my mind right. Should've never gave my heart, but that's in hindsight. I keep my guard up, nigga, can't find a blind side. Bitches try to munch on the dick, I call that fine dine. Yeah, I came a long way, from the bricks to estates, from the flips to them states, from the eights to the plate, from the hip, I'ma spray. If you play, then you lay. Don't promote any violence, but I ain't come here to play. I'm an addict, I've been fighting addictions. From the food, drugs, and hoes, swear that pussy addictive. Man, I swear I gotta have it, I don't need no prescriptions. If I ever wanna blow up, gotta add more restrictions, let's get it. Stop dwelling so much on the past, and stop stressing so much about the future. Your glow up could come at any moment. Don't let another nigga's success fuck your mental, man. Cause shit, I'm guilty of that. Let's get it.
Let's take it back and back to a place in time. You know I gotta get it, working from 9 to 9. Yeah, I was seeing double, but now I'm feeling fine. You know the mission steady, stack till the summertime.
Let's take it back to a time when I was a youngin' that's stuntin', tryna be buzzin'. I'm rushing to get my moment, I'm chosen to be the greatest. I'm your favorite rapper's favorite. I'm the one right in the matrix while I'm bumping up the playlist. I'm a West Coast kid with a dream, tryna make it to the top when I had nothing. I was made from the mud where the grass ain't green. I was going through the waste, stacking up my cheese. Way back when I was coming up, when I had no one, when I was feeling stuck. Now I'm blowing up, now I'm pouring up. That was dummy luck, man, I don't give a fuck. Look, this 9 to 5 was never meant to be forever. Got me feeling like the dairy man, the way I stack my cheddar. Got me feeling like the self-made hustler that I am. I won't stop till I get every fucking diamond, platinum, black. Look. Word to God, I be stacking blue strips and green. Got me gunning for the future, by the way, I'm pushing P. I'm the greatest rapper ever, just know I cannot be beat. All these MC squares, you know they can never equal E. Easily, I got that attitude like Easy-E. Is it me or is the competition feeling me? I'm on top of the world, I run it up. It's the modern boy not, man, we bout to turn it up, yeah.
Let's take it back and back to a place in time. You know I gotta get it, working from 9 to 9. Yeah, I was seeing double, but now I'm feeling fine. You know the mission steady, stack till the summertime. Whoa, look at me and E getting all degrees. Whoa, yeah, got the baddies now, feeling a lot of on flow. Yeah. Can you feel the raw energy that we on? I can really do everything that I want. Yeah. And it feels so good. Corduroy shoes when like we run hoods. They said I can't have to show them I could. We put in time, I don't even got none. Hop in the Uber, gotta get shit done. Put in that work, then go outside. I gotta stay alive. Now I'm stressing over nothing. Now my money worth my time. Ricky says he sees me growing. That's just God over my life, yeah. Let's take it back and back to a place in time. You know I gotta get it, working from 9 to 9. Yeah, I was seeing double, but now I'm feeling fine. You know the mission steady, Stack till the summertime. Whoa. Whoa.
I'm sorry you had to find out like that. Hey, wait a minute. Can we...
Oh, y'all thought y'all had it all figured out. These niggas really thought they knew something. Okay. Let's go. They thought I was pussy, so I had to show 'em. I can't even see 'em, I don't really know 'em. Still, gotta put 'em in their place. Let these niggas and these bitches know they can't play in my face, yeah. I was made for this. Yeah, I got it out the mud, bet I paid for this. Look me in my face, you gon' feel this pain. Third out on my name, got up anyway. You gon' feel this pain, you gon' feel this pressure. Only way a bitch get in my lane is if I let her. You hoes copy paste, you lonely and fake. Just stay out the way, worry about your cake. Yeah. They thought I was pussy, so I had to show 'em. I can't even see 'em, I don't really know 'em. Still, gotta put 'em in their place. That these niggas and these bitches know they can't play in my face, yeah. They thought I was pussy, so I had to show 'em. I can't even see 'em, I don't really know 'em. Still, gotta put 'em in their place. That these niggas and these bitches know they can't play in my face, yeah. You can try to stop me, but I just cannot be stopped. Tried your best to top me, bitch, I'm sitting at the top. Took over your city, yeah, I got that shit on lock. Gotta pay me nicely if you want that shit to pop. Now you got me on beast mode. I've been quiet for a minute, demon time, no sleep, ho. I've been trying to keep it humble, why you speaking on me, ho? I'm the realest, I'm the baddest, beat the game with no cheat code, I did it. They thought I was pussy, so I had to show 'em. I can't even see 'em, I don't really know 'em. Still, gotta put 'em in their place. That these niggas and these bitches know they can't play in my face, yeah. They thought I was pussy, so I had to show 'em. I can't even see 'em, I don't really know 'em. Still, gotta put 'em in their place. That these niggas and these bitches know they can't play in my face, yeah.
Oh my goodness, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Ari, aka Nadia Sabe, Princess of the Darkness, Lil G, a whole bunch of other names. We are going to try to get through today really quickly because I have a show to get to. Doors open at 8 o'clock and it is 6. So we are going to brush through this as quickly as humanly possible. But I hope that you guys are having a nice Sunday, have been able to wind down, relax a little bit as you gear up for the treacherous Monday to come tomorrow. We're back with episode 38 of Run It Back, which is a music industry news podcast where essentially I just talk about whatever I want to that has to do with the music industry, specifically updates and different things that I believe we should be talking about or know about. I also review independent music that I funnel to my radio show, Dare to Defy Radio, powered by Magnifica Network. So we're going to talk about that first. If you would like to submit to any of the episodes, go ahead and shoot me an email at ari@dareanddefy.net with a YouTube or Spotify link. You can also put your social media if you so choose. That's helpful if it's not linked in your DSPs, which it totally should be. But anything else you want to send me, any questions you want to ask, you can also put in there. So yeah, let's get straight into it. First up, we have Shadow Work by Eternal Hunter. I like the subject matter and the contracts that it has with the darker sound. Definitely a lot of themes of like growth and self-betterment and, living a lifestyle that reflects that. That's definitely what I got from this. The production is pretty repetitive, and so is the melodies and lyrics. It's very, chant-like, and that could totally be a creative decision. I would have liked to seen a little bit more variety just to make it a little bit more engaging. And along with that kind of repetitiveness is this monotone voice that you have, which goes along with creating that kind of chant-like atmosphere. I really, really like the cover art. It's cohesive. I like the colors in it. I'm a sucker for a red and black combo, so I enjoyed that. Definitely make sure that you go ahead and update your profiles on DSPs. If your Spotify is out of whack, I assume the rest of your stuff is as well. Just go in and make sure that your pictures are up to date, that you have all of your social medias put in where you can, that your bios are there, that anything that needs to be changed and corrected is done so. If you guys want to follow him on Instagram, you can do so at Eternal Turner, spelled the way that you think it is. If you want a direct link, you can go to this document that is now beautifully on the screen that has the links and my notes on everything for the podcast itself. Next song that we have is called Tiachi, aka T-H-E. T-H-E is the proper pronunciation, and this song is very clear about that by THE. If you want to follow this musician, you can do so at THE Music. The spelling is in that document. But this is a super cool song. I've seen it performed a bunch of times. It is a self-titled song by a local musician. Once again, I've seen it a bunch of times. He's a super cool cat. It's a very classic old school hip hop song. It has some definitely West Coast vibes, very reminiscent of Eminem, but also Afrojack, the song Colt 45. You can see some similarities with it. There's a lot of great storytelling in this, and it's a great self-titled song in the sense of you're explaining your name. It's funny because there's a couple of monologues and a couple of voiceovers that he does where he's playing some parts, and overall that storytelling aspect and creating that atmosphere was done really well, and I love that. My only thing is the cover art and branding needs a little bit of growth. We can get the quality up, the conceptual value of it up, and that's my biggest thing with it, because the subject matter and the lyricism is really great, and just going once again back to that storytelling. And I'm excited to see your growth because, like I said, I know you, I've seen you perform this, and I'm just excited to continuously see how you expand on the sound because it's cool. It's pretty different. It's not a mainstream trend. So I'm excited to see what direction you take that. Then we have Addict, which is the title track to a project that I'm not even sure if this was actually submitted to me or if this was a, mass DM that was sent out, but I like the song. It was a full project, and if you know or if you've been watching, when I'm sent full projects, whether that be EPs, albums, whatever the situation is. I usually take the title track or just pick at random what song I want to review. But once again, this is the title track Addict, which is the outro by Tony Rose. If you want to follow him, that's at Tony Rose _. Once again, those direct links for social media and all that stuff is in this document. This is I really, really like this song. It's a very full sounding song in terms of I couldn't think of anything that could have been added to it. If you guys watch Keith Lee, bro, okay, Keith Lee, the way he reviews food, he does it on a 1 to 10 scale. But this 1 to 10 scale is based off of what he thinks could be added to it, or if he can't think of anything that could make it better. If I think of anything that can make it better, it's not full enough for me. That's how I feel about it. The sound selection is great. The sample chop is great. It's one of my favorite parts about the song. I also like the indie guitar instrumentation that you had in there. Just overall, once again, that sound selection and the cohesion that everything had together was great. You have some amazing bars, again with storytelling being a theme of this week's submissions. And once again, a monologue, another theme of this week's submissions. I really enjoyed the subject matter and the message that you got across and the emotion that you put into this. Addict, it's pretty clear what this song is about, just addictive tendencies across, different things. And I really liked the monologue. It added, of course, that personalized touch where we hear more of your genuine voice and you can come across with that kind of authenticity. And I think it was a great touch, a great, symbolic conceptual touch. I thought it was great. My main thing to you, Brody, definitely check your DSPs because the link that you have for your social media is not working. If you have any more social medias, which you should definitely put them on there. You should definitely put a little bit of a large bio, maybe tidy things up in there. Those are my personal suggestions for you. Next, we have a song called Murder by, I believe this is pronounced Skeed. I'm not sure, Skyd. Let me know because I'm not sure. But this is an Afrobeat song, has great melodies, great songwriting. I really liked the live instrumentation within the production. The mix feels a little bit flat, almost like a little bit one-sided. But this is a great debut single. I noticed that this is the first thing that you have released. And for a first song to put out, this is a really great song. So definitely go support bro on his inaugural song, his inaugural release. That's amazing. Next, we have Fairy Tale by Vampire. This is a hyperpop song that I really, really, really enjoyed. If you're in the local Orlando scene and you frequent the shows that I do, you know who Noon is. I really want you guys to work together. I think that would be super cool. The breakdown in this song is, just the production in general is super awesome. It's a lot of cool ebbs and flows, a lot of stank face initiations, and I really enjoyed it. Super engaging. I also love your branding, the visuals that you utilize. Of course, the color palette is super consistent, and yeah, just make sure you update your DSPs. The branding is great. It's those technical things, just making sure that links work. You also want to double, triple check that shit works, man, for sure. So definitely go take a look in there. Next up, the final song that we're going to review is actually not even out. A good friend of mine from college, shout out to Chase, who is a fellow manager, and we went through a lot of college together. He manages a phenomenal singer who goes by the name of Dia Deltruce, and she has some unreleased heat that he wanted me to review. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. So Dia is super awesome. She does she's like a total hippie stoner, cute little white chick with a really pretty voice, tiny girl, just like a ball of adorable, bubbly cuteness. And I love it. And she's been in kind of a lo-fi, very groovy R&B, poppy kind of sound. And this is different. And I am obsessed with it. If you guys know who Aurora is, that is the best description and honestly the best connection that I can make to it. This is a great song. It's called Be Alright. Once again, it's unreleased. We have some exclusivity in terms of talking about this, so which is awesome. It's very ambient. It's very warm. And some of the best songwriting that I've heard from Dia, like really telling a story here. There are certain lines that really just like make you think and catch you for a moment. And I'm just super happy to see this growth and see this come out of her, because I like this private link that I have for this song. I'm gonna be abusing, truly. It's a little bit folky. It's very woodsy. It's very whimsical, almost a little bit mythical. I could see this do so well in sync in a bunch of different arenas, from like sci-fi to coming of age, rom-com, all of these different things, because it's cinematic. It has a lot of movement in it. Once again, like woodsy, windy. I really enjoy the song, and once again, I'm super excited just to know her and to be able to have seen like the growth to this. And I'm very excited for the rollout they have in the release. And man, Chase and I gotta talk. We're gonna have her on the radio show, and this is gonna be added to the official Run It Back playlist, or along with like getting radio play when it officially comes out. So I don't know if they have a pre-save out yet. If you guys want to follow Dia Deltrus, you totally can, at Dia Deltrus. Super simple, DIADELTRUS. And go check the link in her bio, see if there's any updates, or tap in with Chase as well. Check out, I know she should definitely, most likely, she should have a website. Go check and just keep up with her. Cool cat. We're gonna move on though. We're gonna wrap things up. We have 10 stories. I kept it short. It's all my likes. We're not getting too specific. We're not getting too heady today. We're honestly gonna bullshit a little bit, and just talk about some cool stories that I found. And boom. Number 1, Ice Spice. Ice Spice is my current obsession, and I just really fuck with her, and I have had her recent EP, her recent drop, on repeat for the past couple of days. So she just recently dropped Like, and there's just some things that I want to talk about with it. I think it's a great album. I'm not going to necessarily review it. What I want to break down more so is just how quickly she was able to blow and just be this bad bitch. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm super happy for her. First song that Ice Spice ever released is called Bully Freestyle. It was released in March of 2021. I'm going to show you guys this cover art, and this is not, it is a little bit funny, but that's not the reason I'm showing you. There's a true purpose to this. So, boom. This is Ice Spice's first release. And let's be real. This cover art is not good. It's not good. But what this does is we're able to break down a little bit of her growth. Already, though, you know where we're headed. You know where we're headed. But we're starting off, as most do, with, this is not done by the best graphic designer. This wasn't done with, a huge budget. She made a song, she put it out, and marketed it in the way that she did. I'm sure there were some people around who were able to pull strings, whatever the situation is. I don't know the inner workings, right? But she put a fucking song out. She wasn't a superstar yet. Then we move forward, and No Clarity is actually her next release, and this is viral. It did great numbers. We have this same style in terms of the artwork that's done, where it's like this cartoon outline situation, and this is cute. This is better. It looks a lot better. The colors are more cohesive. This is a very classic Ice Spice look that's being depicted here. Once again, the song did numbers. It's viral. Boom, bada bing, bada bow. Then she came out with Euphoric. Meanwhile, none of us knew about her when these came out. None of us knew about her, right? But already we're seeing growth, specifically when we're talking about branding, because one thing about Ice Spice is the marketing and the branding. She did everything the right way, okay? Then, after No Clarity, comes Munch. And Munch blew up, went crazy. She was going viral all over the place like crazy. Her look was, the song in general. People were eating it up. Different parts of it. Little Dot was going crazy. Boom, 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 boom. There's the Drake situation. So her name is in the media a lot. People are seeing her face all the time. People are making their opinions about her. Whether that be she can't rap. She can't rap. What is the Drake line? Oh my God. She a 10 sound good on mute. She can't rap. She a 10 look good on mute. Whatever the hell. That the Princess Diana thing was becoming, more popularized. Just her name was everywhere. You couldn't get away from Ice Spice. And people were waiting for her downfall. They were like, okay, she had Munch. Munch is a good song. It's extremely catchy. She cemented a sound in it. And Munch is cemented in history. Her that look, everything cemented. Okay? But people were waiting for her next song to just flop. And the point of what I was saying is that Munch is not like a sonic masterpiece. It's not one of the most amazing things in the world. But it's a great song. It blew up. It did numbers a little. People just were waiting for her next song to not live up to that. Bikini Bottom, she leaked some of it. She teased it on TikTok. That shit went viral. In funny ways, in memes, in people actually fucking with it, people and girls using it for their, get ready with me's and things like that. Whatever the case may be, went viral again. We see again Bikini Bottom. The quality of the branding and the cover art is getting better. Of course, after Munch, things changed. Things changed for Ice Spice in terms of the resources that she had around her. So her next cover art better look amazing, and it does. Then you have In Her Mood, which came out very recently and very close in terms of proximity to the EP, which again is a great song, and we're solidifying this sound, this sample sound, this drill sound. Her voice is also extremely recognizable, which is very helpful throughout all of this in terms of branding and being a recognizable person in general. This is a cute cover art. It's not a lot of thought into it, but it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look thrown together necessarily. It's low effort, but it doesn't look messy, if that makes any sense. And it looks good in the pile of everything else, right? And then most recently, this shit. Do y'all see this? This cover art is phenomenal. First of all, I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the colorways. It's so new wave, so editorial, I love the lines. I love the colors. I love the accentuation of what needs to be accentuated. Like that ass, and it's just the cover itself is great, right? I think it's awesome, but the release strategy, first of all, the only new songs that we have on here are Actin' a Smoochie, Gangsta Boo, and Princess Diana. Everything else was released as a single, had its own viral moment, and everything else now that is out is having its own viral moment because, and she says it, she knows it, she says it. She's going viral. It's making them sicker. That's what she does. Everything that she does has its own algorithm, its own essence, its own thing, and she's just popping. I'm super happy for her, and she's a great case study. She's an amazing case study because let's rewind. Let's rewind. She released her first song in March of 2021. Let's just double check this. March of 2021. Munch, was released in August. We're at the top. We're in January 2023 right now. I'm just going to reiterate that. She was signed in October to Ken K for $3 million after Munch. She had 3 songs out. Three songs out. And now we have her debut. She's already been in, these rooms and these arenas in terms of award shows, studios, around certain producers and people, personnel, whatever the situation is. And she's just, I personally see a continuous up trajectory for her because, like I said, the look has been cemented. The sound is something that she is building with Riot, which I think is another great thing to pay attention to. She really stays with Bro, and they have been able to create this thing that is doing great for both of them because they're both making a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And the other thing to take note of is that all these songs, once again, the new songs that we have are Actin' a Smoochie, Gangsta Boop, and Princess Diana. The Munch, Bikini Bottom, and In Her Mood are all collecting streams from what was already released, if that makes sense. It's like a continuation. It's not like the way that they oriented it wasn't like a new release that's going to start from zero. It's just compounding on what was already streamed when the single was out, if that makes sense, if you catch my drift. But right now, still, of course, Munch it's been out the longest and is the largest song, sits at the top of her catalog with 39 million plays. And then we have a Bikini Bottom with 16 million, In Her Mood with 5 million. And if we remember, these are the standout singles that she released. And then we have Gangsta Boo with Lil TJ at 1 million, which is doing the best of the new songs. Princess Diana at 600,000. And then we have Actin' Smoochie at 400,000. So not as smashing, not as amazing as someone like SZA or some other folks that have been like making these huge hits and huge records. But this is her debut project. Like this is a huge feat. This is super awesome. And once again, I see really nothing but an upward trajectory of her. And I just wanted to talk about that. I think, of course, the main thing that we're taking into account is the way that she utilized her virality, right? She put herself in positions to consistently be talked about, for music to consistently be played, and waited till great times to just kind of tease things and allow them to take on their own life. You don't really see Ice Spice get upset or, be a part of drama or conversation about her talent or anything like that. She's just herself and posts what she wants to, is the bad bitch that is her brand, that nonchalant, effortless cutie who is just kind of like doing her thing, making music, making money. She's not bothered. That's pretty obvious, and that is communicated throughout everything. And I think that that's another huge appeal to it, is that she really don't give a fuck. She is really just herself. And I love it, and I wanted to talk about it because, once again, she's my most recent obsession. Next thing, we have musicians using Bandzoogle have sold more than $100 million in music, merch, and ticket commission fees on their websites, reflecting the growing importance of direct-to-fan sales. More than half, or $52.7 million of those sales, happened in the last 5 years. I wanted to talk about this because Bandzoogle is what I recommend to a lot of my clients when they're talking about building a website, either me coming in and doing it or using a builder and going ahead and like using templates and doing it on their own. Bandzoogle is an awesome resource. It has a lot of just in-house functionality things that streamline the process of all the things you want to do on your website, like collect emails, sell merchandise, update people, have timelines, sell tickets, all of these different ways to put out products and information, right? And yeah, once again, it's just very streamlined, very direct, and obviously $100 million in sales for musicians in the last 5 years is really cool because these are, DIY folks who, that middle class of musicians that, I kind of talk about, are people in these spaces, and just having stuff that's tailored to us is super cool. So definitely check it out if it's something that you are looking into, you're needing to build a website. Go check Bandzoogle out. Also, Bandzoogle, check us out and let's work together. Anyways, the next thing is Mac DeMarco had some comments about TikTok, quote unquote. He said that he finds it strange that artists sometimes write music that's engineered for TikTok success or think going viral on there is how they can best make money. It's very depressing. I think that's the problem. artists have split into this role of like, well, I need to do these things. You don't, but if you want to make money, I guess you do, he said. I was always of the ilk of make what you want to make, and if money comes afterward, it's a bonus. So the reason I want to talk about this is because I work with plenty of people on creating their content schedules and figuring out what kind of content that they're going to make. The issue is not that you have to make content. It's the fact that you actually don't know what your brand is. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you want to say to people. And you don't know how to do any of those things. That's what the issue is. It's not that you are like scared to make content. It's probably not that it's overwhelming. It can be all of those things and all of those emotions and whatnot can go into the reason why you're not promoting your stuff on TikTok and the number one social media platform in the world. First of all, it just doesn't make sense for you to not be on there, considering that fact. And once again, when I talk to people about these things, if I am working with a client who knows what they like, they know what they're interested in, they know what they're comfortable sharing with their audience, and they know just their brand and what they like, what they're interested in, what they think is cool, and what they want to make, if you don't think about it as a chore, it's not going to be a chore. If you think about it as more of a challenge and just a new, think about it in like visual art terms, like mixed media, adding things together in new ways to just communicate and use it as a different shaped vessel, because that's all it is for media content, videos, whatever the freak it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So. Yeah, I just find it funny, it's a large conversation about, do we really want these artists who have these large careers, these superstars who are signed and have X amount of resources to be complaining and talking about, a resource that, number one, it is inescapable, but it's also accessible. And that is one of the best things about social media, of course, and about TikTok itself, is that it's been able to take careers and people, places that, once in a lifetime chance, these things that would not be possible without that level of accessibility. So kind of being upset about that or having a negative connotation with it, I feel like everyone kind of just needs to get over it and like get more creative. Let's get more creative. Let's figure out how we can make these things work for us. Because if you really are creative and you really still have something to say, a message to get across, and a person to reach, people to reach, you are going to figure out how to do it in whatever manner you need to. Okay? Moving forward, concert merchandise has always been an important part of the music industry, providing fans with a way to show their support for their favorite music artists and bands while also providing a tangible memory of the concert. However, in recent years, concert merchandise has become even more vital part of the revenue stream for musicians and bands. This is partly due to the decline in physical album sales, as well as the rise of streaming services, which have made it difficult for musicians to make money from traditional revenue streams. I think something that's also important about this is, we've been talking about touring costs a lot, and that's another factor for a lot of people. As they said, merchandise and apparel, functional products and things like that have been a part of the industry and will be a part of the industry forever. But because it's a higher ticket sale, of course it's, a larger expense than what you may pay TuneCore or something like that to manufacture something. That return is going to be larger. And it's just, an update. It's a pretty obvious thing nowadays, but something that I think should continue to be reiterated, especially for people who, once again, want to fall into that middle-class artist thing or just support themselves and find different ways to make income. Make some cool shit. Utilize the people around you and your own creative, mind to make some other cool stuff that doesn't have necessarily to do directly with music or an audio product at the end of the day. Make something tangible and see how people like it. Why not? I need to bring up the specific graphic at some point. Maybe I'll put it linked. Actually, I will. I'm going to link it in this document, but there were some statistics just about how Gen Z consumes music, and one of those things being that we love merch and that we want more options for merch and more ways to kind of have these branded things of our special interests, the things that we care about. moving forward. The music industry was radically reshaped in the 3 years since Ari Herstand last updated his how-to instruction manual for independent musicians, which is called How to Make It in the New Music Business, Practical Tips on Building a Loyal Following and Making a Living as a Musician. First published in 2016. I love Ari Herstand. I feel like we are soul name twins, and I would love to meet you, bro. Real shit. I actually really love him. He is a great resource just for music industry information. He does podcasts, he writes articles, he has a book, he also makes music himself, and he's just super cool, and he's one of the people, you know, who have definitely inspired me across my journey, and who I have interacted with a lot of his work. He's super, super cool. But yeah, this is mainly just talking about how the pandemic changed, how musicians monetize live music, social media apps, and how all of these specific things have rewritten kind of the climate and the way that the trajectory for artists, and kind of talking about how there's no one straight path, and now that we have Web3, there's all these things, and da-da-da-da-da. And I don't necessarily disagree. I think these are a lot of different learning curves and things that we're going to have to get used to over time. You know, it's going to be a new normal, but one of the things that I wanted to hone in on with this was the essence and the reasoning, the drivers behind what we're trying to do, which is collect sales, make money, right? All of those things are always going to be the same. It's always just the vessel, the mechanic, the product that I was doing so well. I was like on such a great like sentence note, and then the one word messes it up. Anyways, yes, it's not necessarily, it's all about the reason, which is always about connection. It's always about emotion. So how you do it is going to change. Yes, but what you're doing, making that connection, having someone tap into their emotions, whatever form you do that, whether it's joy, sadness, grief, la da 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 da. It's really all the same. It's just the vessel. It's just the mechanism. And I wanted to make that statement because there's always going to be learning curves. There's always going to be new technology and things like that. But if you're able to keep the essence of who you are through all of it, I think that that's one of the most important things across a lot of different places. Personally, for your personal mental sanity, for your brand, for your audience, for your family, all that shit. Moving on, we have Believe-owned DIY music distribution company TuneCore and UK-based publishing administrator Centric Music Group have renewed their partnership. TuneCore says that the deal allows it to use Centric's technology and direct global collection network to increase revenue opportunities for TuneCore's publishing songwriters. The renewal comes a year after Centric Music Group was acquired by Switzerland-headquartered fintech company Utopia Music, with Centric founder Chris Meehan joining Utopia as vice president of royalty management services. The renewal coincides with an expansion of TuneCore's services. Through the original partnership forged in 2018, TuneCore's artists are able to submit unlimited songs for a one-time $75 setup fee and $15 commission and optional sync service. TuneCore says the renewal now deepens its partnership with Centric and allows it to offer songwriters more flexibility, advances, and new high-end publishing interfaces. I think this is super cool. This, if you know you're someone who wants to utilize this, be a part of it, who maybe you already utilize TuneCore, can substitute your song trust and be able to be that in-house publishing for you. Weigh your options, see if it makes sense for you to either switch over or kind of utilize these different services from TuneCore. They've been making a lot of moves. They've made a lot of payouts. Cool people. We've talked about upstreaming before and kind of how we have seen these distribution or aggregation companies shift over time into being these scouting and development companies who are also integrating publishing services, management services, sync services, things like that. And it can definitely be valuable. You have to make that decision. My biggest thing is when it has to do with commission. Personally, I teach in one of my classes, and a part of the curriculum that I teach is just about team building. And when we get into those top line positions at certain levels, how much that commission really takes out. And depending on how many people are getting commission of that 10-15%, what is the percentage going to be left over for the musician? And if you're a band, that's split into X amount of ways. So that's my biggest thing with it, is having that set commission of 15%. And of course, there are different ways that you can navigate these spaces, but if there's any advice or thing that I would want you to think about, specifically a part of a bunch of other things when it comes to aggregation, it would be that commission aspect of it. Also, if you are looking to just find a new aggregator, maybe it's, you haven't released anything yet and you're wanting to do some research on what's the best option for you, look up aggregator comparison chart Ari Herstand, and find that article. It's a great article that has a chart that gives you a whole bunch of information that is free knowledge, so go look at that. It's a great resource. Moving forward, using the Spotify U.S. launch year of 2011 as a start date, the cumulative rate of U.S. inflation since then is 30.1%. Using Spotify 2008 European launch, EU inflation is up 31.1%. Effectively, artists and labels earn 30% less from each Spotify subscriber than they did when it launched. So for Spotify to keep pace with inflation, they need to raise that price to $12.99. I'm not going to get too political and talk about how I feel about inflation and what I believe should be done in society. But it does make sense for that price jump to kind of catch up. And when they're talking about that, musicians are getting 30% less from each subscriber due to inflation, it's from that pot, right? So when we talk about pro rata payout methods where everything is kind of pushed together, there's a certain sector of money that is, goes back into the company, and a certain sector of money that is divvied out. That pot is technically 30% smaller due to inflation, so they want to combat that, or the idea is to combat that with raising the price to kind of match that discrepancy, right? It makes sense. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's too crazy of a price jump. As long as it benefits artists, that's really all I care about, and I believe that it will. So, boom, bada bing, bada bing. Another thing that I wanted to kind of just put in here, not necessarily talk about too much, is this management article on Forbes. It's just a really good article that breaks down some different positions when it comes to like executives at labels, what A&Rs do, what product managers are, radio promoters, tour managers, and if it's something that you're interested in, how to effectively do these jobs and kind of get into them. And I thought that this was something that was really cool to put in because it's great information. It's written very well. And boom, go check it out if you would like. Last thing that we're talking about, and then we're closing it up. This might be the shortest episode we've had in a while. SoundCloud has appointed Emmy Lovell as Global Head of Music. She will continue to be based in London and report to Chief Content and Marketing Officer Lauren Witzer-Seawood. In this role, Lovell will lead SoundCloud's global music strategy and oversee the company's artist and label relations and commercial label partnership teams. SoundCloud says that by working closely with artists, managers, and labels worldwide, the exec will build the relationships, capabilities, and insights that connect and deepen the relationship between SoundCloud's passionate fans and their favorite motherfucking artists. Beautiful. Happy for her. A lot of women doing a lot of cool things. As we close out, of course, I have to give you all updates on what is coming up, what is going on. So let me prepare, and then we will get into that and close this out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up the flyers. Tonight, we have Spotlight Orlando. I'm going to be stage managing, so I will be behind the scenes and in the venue, just running around, making sure that everyone's getting on stage on time, making sure that if there's any fires I am there to put them out. Yeah, real quick, actually, there's apparently a scam going on in Orlando. Not necessarily, I mean, duh. But apparently there is a collective of promoters who are running a little scam. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. If you want me to, maybe I'll do like a little like live just on my phone on Instagram about it because it's interesting. We'll see. But this is Spotlight. This is what's happening tonight. I will be managing the stage, like I said, running around, making sure if there's any fires. That I made sure that they are put out, making sure people get on stage on time, everyone is happy, having a good time, and of course, networking, getting my good in, la da 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 da. I do this event partnered and operated truly by Leo Knight from Uncensored Media Group. He is amazing. He's been in radio for a long time. He has a bunch of shit that I just suggested you go follow him, keep up with him, from activism to art to radio to being his own, an artist in his own right. Just a super awesome person. What else do we have coming up? Officially, the in-person classes is over, y'all. Officially, they're done. But we do have coming up the Dare and Defy Jam session. This is going to be super, super fun. This is the first event that we're having of this sort. This is going to be an open session right here at Innerspace. So if you're in Orlando and you are a vocalist, or if you're an instrumentalist who wants to meet other vocalists and instrumentalists and just people who are interested in music and have fun and real time, create with people, that is the place to do it. If you come and you bring equipment, I'm going to be flexible on those first 5 in terms of who I let in for free. But if you come in with your own equipment, the chances are that you're going to come in for free for being so gracious and bringing your own stuff. But this is going to be a super fun time. I'm going to have different sign-up sheets for vocalists, drummers, guitar players, bass players, saxophone players, and just throw bands together. And we're just going to have a great time and create art together, which is my favorite thing in the whole entire world. That is taking place next Friday, which is December 27th, Jesus Christ. January 27th, once again, right here in Orlando, Florida, Altamont Springs to be exact, at Innerspace Orlando. This also is a great time to shout them out for being such amazing sponsors and the reason why we are so freaking cool. What else do we have coming up? Women's Wine Down is coming up. That is going to be in February 15th to be exact. All ladies exclusive networking event where we are going to have free food, some free drinks if you get that ticket with the drink tickets, a plug and play section for us to just show what we got, you know what I'm saying, showcase our work. We're also going to have some awesome guest speakers. We're going to have my girl Abby from Creators Club come through and just talk about what she does and her experience, of course. One of my old professors, Chantel Hampton, who has worked closely with her and in the space of artist development and teaching for a while. She's also an assistant teacher at Berkeley. She's super cool. And then we have 2 engineers coming in as well. So a wealth of knowledge from different areas, from some just amazing women talking about their experience. And so that's going to be super cool. If you're a chick or chick adjacent, definitely show up because it's going to be a lot of fun. And we also have some other things coming up that I don't have necessarily flyers coming or flyers to tell you about or show you just yet, but I do have some shows where I'll be performing in February and some just other small things. Keep up with me on Instagram to get all the details. That is Nadia Sabe Official. You've been seeing it coming across. See, look, it's going across right now. That's my Instagram. Go put it in your phone. Get it right. Tune in to Dare to Defy Radio tomorrow at 7 p.m. It's going to be the last show of the month until we get into February. Y'all see me and my co-hosts. If you're interested in having a commercial run, if you're interested in sponsoring an episode of this podcast or a show of the radio show, whatever the case may be, if you're an artist and you want an interview, hit me in the DMs directly so we can talk about pricing for promo packages and things like that. And yeah, you can also hit me via email at ari@dareanddefy.net. You can find all of that information on my website as well, which is dareanddefy.net. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and that you guys once again had a relaxing and low-key Sunday and that you are ready and prepared for the world tomorrow when it smacks you in the face. All right, I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace out.
Change is getting so close. That daily bread I started eating by the loaf. When the weight of the world had me feeling so low, still I rise. Maya Angelou finally said, yes, I'm no longer blind. Faith leads the way, it follows from behind. When Christ wants to dine or use a drive-through, one thing comes to mind: how can I serve you? God calls many, only few in motion. Satan calls many, many come running. Evil mimic God's image just to keep you coming, but I mimic God's image just to keep it running.
Yeah, while we were sinners, Christ died and demonstrated love. And still, we ignored His word and chose to walk around unjust. He'll still take you as you are. Nothing can separate this love. He still kills and destroys. The enemy's not a friend to us. And still, yeah, while we were sinners, Christ died and demonstrated love. And still, we ignored His word and chose to walk around unjust. He'll still take you as you are. Nothing can separate this love.